What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Jets Report. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, we got a fun one for you guys, and you guys will be fired up after watching today's video, as we are going to break down what Aaron Rodgers said on the Pat McAfee show about his meeting with Aaron Gleen and the decision the Jets made to move off Aaron Rodgers. You guys will be believing a whole lot in Aaron Gleen after today's video, but speaking of the new head coach in New York, if you believe in Aaron Gleen, it's simple. Hit that thumbs up icon, like today's video. We put the goal as 200 likes. So if you guys could, go down there, smash that thumbs up icon if you are an Aaron Gleen believer. All right, let's talk about it. So Aaron Rodgers hopped on the Pat McAfee show, and he had a lot to say about his meeting with Aaron Gleen. And, you know, these quotes are all from Rodgers' perspective, so just keep that in mind. But it was very, very interesting on just how Aaron Gleen decided to handle this whole situation. This is what Rodgers had to say, saying, "I felt like there wasn't an ample amount of respect in that meeting, but I guess I shouldn't have been surprised based on some other things I saw over the 2 years. I was kind of shocked. Now, I'm not shocked because I didn't think that was a possibility. Listen, if they wanted to move on, it's fine. But shocked because I just flew across the country and you could have told me this on the phone if we weren't even going to have a conversation." And pretty much Aaron Rodgers went into that meeting, said what's up to Aaron Gleen, and then Aaron Gleen, about 30 seconds into this meeting, said, "We're going in a different direction at quarterback." I love that. Just flat out, get it out there on the table. They already had their mind made up. There was nothing that Aaron Rodgers could have said in that meeting that would have changed Glenn or Moogie's thoughts on bringing him back next season. And I have loved the way Aaron Gleen has handled being the Jets head coach so far. Now, obviously, we haven't seen him coach an actual game yet. We haven't even seen a draft with this new front office. But I just love the way he's handled it because he is putting the New York Jets brand and the football team over everything. He doesn't give a shit if it's a 4-time MVP, Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl champ, Aaron Rodgers. He said, you know what, we're going in a different direction because we got to change this culture. And letting go of Aaron Rodgers and just letting him walk and cutting him was the best way to do so because it turned from, hey, this is the Aaron Rodgers Jets, to now already in a couple of months this offseason, we can all say confidently, this New York Jets is Aaron Glenn's New York Jets, and I'm a big fan of that. And listen, there was no reason to bring Rodgers back. I think we're all on the same page on that. I understand there's some Jets fans out there that said, yeah, we have a downgrade at quarterback from Rodgers to Justin Fields. Guys, Rodgers played 17 games last season. Jets had a pretty easy schedule compared to the rest of the league, and you won 5 games. Like, it was a disaster last year. There was too much talent on this football team to win 5 games, and I think the biggest reason why the Jets were a disaster the last 2 years was, yes, Rodgers popping his Achilles week 1 2 years ago, but also last year, Aaron Rodgers was a big reason why this Jets team was not successful. And also the way Rodgers was talking was like, oh, I deserved more respect in that meeting. I'm Aaron Rodgers. I'm the 4-time MVP. Rodgers, what did you do for the New York Jets? You won 5 football games in 2 seasons. What type of respect did you expect heading into that meeting? Did you want Aaron Gleen to get on his hands and knees and beg you to come back and beg you to be the starting quarterback? Or did you just want a fake 2-hour conversation where you made your pitch and you talked to them about what you wanted? I actually think if I was Rodgers and I knew the Jets wanted to move off from me and just get me out of the building, I respect that Glenn at least just came out and said it right away instead of Rodgers, getting dragged out throughout a 2-hour meeting and just kind of being very political and just a lot of coach kind of BS talk. Like, if I was in Rodgers' camp, I would be like, okay, you know what? Thank you for getting that out there right away. I can move on very quickly. Now, yes, him flying across the country, meeting with them, I can see why I'd be frustrated when they could have just done that on a phone call. But I'm also positive Aaron Gleen wanted to be face-to-face with this guy and say, hey, we don't want you here. We're going in a different direction. So I love the move. I love the decision. I love the way Aaron Gleen handled it. And we'll talk about more about AG here in a second. But you guys be honest with me. If you were hired as the GM for the Jets or the head coach, would you have brought Aaron Rodgers back? Give me a Y for yes. Give me an N for no. You guys let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. All right, I do want to share with you guys a couple of quotes here from Chad Pennington and also Dan Campbell about Aaron Gleen. And this Chad Pennington quote, former Jets legend here, was awesome. Saying with AG, he's going to do it a certain way, a way he believes in. I think that's one of his strong points. That's what made him a great DB. He had a certain way of doing things. and he's a true professional. So it doesn't surprise me that it correlates to him being a coach as well. And I think Aaron Glenn, he is the culture setter for the New York Jets, and they needed that desperately, guys. Like, yeah, would have been probably more fun for like the headlines being talked about in the offseason if we went and got Ben Johnson, where it's like, oh, we got this creative offensive mind. The offense is going to look so different. I think the Jets are in a spot where you just need the guy to get in there, change this culture, get this kind of ship back on track here. And also, I love that Glenn's came out and said, I'm not just a defensive mind. I'm a damn football coach. Like, I'm not here to be that defensive wizard. I'm here to coach a football team and help develop these players on the roster. And everything he's talked about, everything he's done so far in the offseason speaks to that. Where it's like, yeah, I know I'm an elite defensive mind. I had that Lions defense with a ton of injuries playing damn good football at the tail half of the last season. But that's not who he is. He is a football coach first, a defensive mind second. And I think having that energy, having that mindset as the Jets head coach is perfect. And also, Aaron Glenn talked about having a quiet offseason. And he said this, it is by design. Listen, I'm a huge believer in just moving in silence and letting things play out the way they need to play out. This doesn't need to be a big hoopla of what we're doing. We just want to go about our business, coach these players, and try to create an atmosphere for the players that's totally different. I just want to move in silence, man, and just go about your business to go win some games. You don't win an offseason anyways. I mean, I know everybody has these grades on free agency grades and draft grades. When you go back and look at them, they don't really mean crap. Aaron Glenn, I second everything you just said here because I think a quiet offseason for the New York Jets should result in a successful regular season. Now, a successful regular season for New York, in my opinion, is a 7-10 year. If the Jets go 7-10 and they have a great, culture-setting season, I think that would be a big success because then you start really to shift this franchise's direction into the Aaron Glenn Jets off of the Aaron Rodgers Jets. And I also think I love what he said about, free agency grades, draft grades, which he doesn't give a shit about that. And I don't care about that either. Even me, I'm going to come up here and do a grades video after the draft. Does it mean anything? Absolutely not. We got to go see how these players play every Sunday for the Jets. But also Dan Campbell showing some love to his former DC, saying this, you got to be able to do what you need to do to build it from the ground up. AG has been around some phenomenal coaches. Bill Parcells, Sean Payton. This guy gets it. He has been around the best at building and sustaining. You need a leader and a guy that can hold people accountable. And I'm talking top down, has a vision of where you want to go and allows them to do that. And he is every bit of that. As long as he has the support, AG will turn things around. It's no question. And guys, shout out to producer Dylan for also getting the Kool-Aid thing right here. That looks awesome. But maybe I'm drinking too much green Kool-Aid for the Jets, but I think they have their guy. Like, if I had to go like over/under 3.5 years for Aaron Glenn being the Jets head coach, I'm probably going over. I'm a believer in him. Everything he's talked about, and I think a big question mark will be like Tanner Engstrad. Will he be a good offensive coordinator? That's probably the biggest question mark I have on this whole coaching staff. But in terms of the culture, the defensive minds in this organization, it is going to be an immediate upgrade from where it was last season. So let's close today's show out with this. If you guys believe in Aaron Glenn, give me those AGs down below in the comments section. Show him our support here. You never know. What if he's got a family member? Maybe he's watching today's show. Show him your support down below. Also, friendly reminder, hit that subscribe button. We got draft grades, draft picks, all these videos coming out during the NFL draft. So hit that subscribe button today. See you guys next time. As always, go Jets.